Miguk Namja, and just started recording videos on YouTube. Starting out with some GregTech New Horizons tutorials. I think some things I was curious about myself that I didn't see others covering, so I thought I'd make some videos. But one thing I haven't done yet, I have not done a base tour. Um, it'd be great if I thought of doing recording when I started. I could have done the whole Let's Play. I still might do that, although it'll start kind of in the middle of the HV era. But hey, better late than never, right? So what I'd like to do, give you guys a base tour of my HV era base. This is actually pretty good timing here, because actually it's lit up, looks kind of cool. Sunset and with the moon rising there. All right, so I'm up on a sacred oak tree. I didn't plant this. This was already here. I thought this was a pretty cool place to put my base. It's by the river. The humidity in some places is 90%. That was great for the those railcraft rain tanks. And of course, started out with some sacred oak trees. For that, let's go ahead and take a tour. I'm just using the glider here. It's kind of cool for early game getting around. It's still pretty handy in the HP era. All right, so this is my main base here. Go use the elevator to get down. Here's my main inventory here. I am using storage doors, so I got a door controller. It's being fed underneath by conduits coming from here. I do plan to pump in other stuff, but for right now it's just coming from here. And what this is, this diamond chest, this is the output of my processing machines, what I call my ergonomic processing machines, because I like to keep the ones I use the most often close, and I like to make it as easy as possible to use and support batch processing. So I'm still using these LV era machines here for the most part. Got a long line of machines here. I love this redstone alloy cable. It's lossless. You can get that as soon as you get the EBF. It's really cool. Here, this is my first expansion into MV. Didn't make that many machines because I knew that I was going to be doing HV. And here's my sad HV setup here. Really, it's overcrowded. One of my next things I need to do next is actually upgrade all of these, swap this whole line out for HV machines and move most of these over here, and then I'll probably deprecate a lot of these MV era machines there. So yeah, so right here, this is kind of pretty typical setup, just inventory, combination of storage drawers and chests. There's lots of machines. Here's my multi-smelter here. I do have an ore processing setup here. Right now, I'm doing galena vein, so silver, lead, and galena. The part of that is the chemical bath. And let's go ahead and take a visit to my pollution area. By the way, you notice this big hallway here. There's a three chunk air gap in between my main base and where I'm building most of my stuff and the pollution area. I got a hazmat suit right here. Reason I do that, actually, it's kind of on a low pollution now because I haven't been running a lot of stuff, but I'll show you the pollution levels, like the pyrolyzed ovens. That's really not that bad. 687K. Yeah, it's because I haven't been running these. These are kind of done. But when those are running, it can get up to about 2 million. Pretty bad. And then I have 4 EBFs. When these are running, everything's running. Yeah, it can get really bad. And then, of course, the more stuff I have running, the more power I need to generate. So I'm using these turbines, and this is a mix of HV, MV, and I still have my LV era stuff, although it's not hooked up because I'm trying to save my fuel for cetane boosted diesel, so I'm not burning that off. But yeah, this is the combustion and then the gas. These are all fairly typical machines, except this one. I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I have a couple of pyrolysis ovens here to make wood tar, and then I have this one to make fermented biomass. That's coming from the chaff here. I'll show you below what happens. So, yeah, wood tar comes out here, and then charcoal comes out, and then I take the charcoal and I fluid extract that for even more wood tar. And then I take the wood tar out of there, and I send it all the way over to the other side. And let's go over there. Oh, smarter, I would have made this taller so I could jump and glide further. Yeah, let's see where all this lovely wood tar is going. It's going over here to my distillation towers. So one here is set up for wood tar. The other, the other pyrolysis oven on the right of those was outputting fermented biomass, so that comes in here. And then I have oil, just regular. For right now, regular Buildcraft oil. We'll do plan soon to get the oil rig, and then I'll start using the GregTech oil. Yeah, output all kinds of useful stuff. Ethanol and methanol from that. Acetic acid, ammonia, and that is coming from fermented biomass. And then from the wood tar, of course, is my benzene, which is immediately gets used. Phenol, I'm not using that at the moment. And then toluene. Toluene, which I make gel toluene, that's used to make industrial TNT. And all that stuff is getting output here, processed into my spaghetti system. It's kind of a mess, but it works. I got fuel, got biodiesel, glycerin, I'll probably use that later. Ethylene, have that turned off because I already have a ton upstairs. I don't really need any more of that. Nitric acid, sulfuric acid over here. I'm making my the 3 gases you kind of need for a lot of EBF stuff until pretty late into the pack. You have oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. Quite a bit of nitrogen and hydrogen. Currently struggling to get oxygen. I do need to take care of that. Don't know if I'll do more electrolyzers or the centrifuge, or I'll do something else like, I don't know, centrifuge sand, something like that. Alright, so that's that. Ignore that over there. That's for my little lab area. This is the stuff coming from my mob farm. I do want to integrate this with my main inventory system, but this was just to kind of get things set up. So I filter out a bunch of the crap, stuff like this that, yeah, don't really need. Probably mainly void. But yeah, I still need to figure out what to do with all this stuff here. Breadlawn farm, which I just made a video on that. Clean room. I do like to make it a little bit bigger. Give me a little more space. A little more elbow room. It's always nice. And let's go look at my tree farm. This is this way. By the way, we're under the water here. This is kind of a cool little project. Alright, so here's my tree farm and peat bog tree farm here. Pretty typical stuff. I'm just using oak because you get saplings and apples. It's great for making the fermented biomass. And then why on earth? Why would anyone do a do a peat bog farm? So the problem, if you just have a forestry multi-farm for trees, you need to input not only fertilizer but dirt, and it takes quite a bit of dirt. And in this pack, there's not really a great way to automatically producing dirt. Now you could produce dirt from your saplings, but I want to take those saplings and make fermented biomass. I don't want to turn them back into dirt. So where do we get dirt? Well, it just so happens the forestry and the process of making the peat. You take dirt and sand and water. That's what's going on here. Dirt, sand, water. Make bog earth. Let bog earth sit a while, and it turns to peat. And then when you harvest the peat, you get back dirt. And of course you get back the peat. Yeah, and then the peat is used to actually power this, so that's kind of a nice bonus. Don't really need that. I could power this with GregTech machines, but since I have the peat, might as well use it. So have these peat engines here, these peat fired engines, and that powers both farms. But yeah, back to the bog earth. When you harvest bog earth, it's just all dirt, and it takes dirt and sand. So basically, it's a process for converting sand back into dirt. Because what happens with your forestry tree farm is it's going to take this dirt you put in, and slowly over time, it turns to sand. So it outputs sand. So if you have everything balanced, and you see things are not quite balanced, I'm trying to bring them back to balance. And that's based on basically the number of these that I run, because that controls the rate that I extract out the peat, which controls the rate that that I take out the peat to get dirt. So think about 10 of these is balanced. I did have 12, and I turned those off. 4 of them off, so now I have 8. So yeah, I think that's gonna the sand is gonna slowly catch back up to the dirt, because I'm not gonna be converting as much sand to dirt. All right, so there's that. Oh, you notice I have a huge amount of fertilizer that is coming from the distillation tower that is processing the fermented biomass. So that's also a really cool thing, because that you get probably you get the most efficient recipe short of, I think, magic. Yeah, so you get 1 apatite gives you 30 fertilizer if you use the IC2 fertilizer. 8 seems like a lot, but no, I have a ton. That's pretty much infinite. So this is a really great way of stretching out the apatite, because that I do have to go mining for that. I don't have apatite bees. Yeah, that would be slightly more efficient, but that requires magic bees and some magic. I don't have that, so it's pretty darn efficient. The other common recipe is using ash, but you only get 10. So this is 3 times more efficient to use the fertilizer rather than ash. I was using ash, but then I switched to fertilizer, so that means that's going to last a lot longer. All right, that's the forestry tree and peat farm, although the peat farm is just to really feed the forestry tree farm. All right, this is my mage tower, which I'm just started building today. Definitely a work in progress. Yeah, I need to get some more birch planks. But yeah, I plan on moving all my Thaumcraft stuff in here. It's not going to fit the blood magic. I'll need to do a separate build for that. But this will definitely fit all of the Thaumcraft stuff. So I'm planning on putting the infusion altar here, having underneath some stabilizers. That's why the roof is so tall, because I'll have another subfloor below that, or as you can say, ceiling. Then I'll put the stabilizers on. infusion altar here, and then I'll have my main alchemical essentia set up here with all the essentia jars and stuff. This might be, I don't know, it might be the automated essentia. And this top one might be for the wand, like when I start getting nodes. It's a good wand setup. And then, yeah, just another floor. And then I really need to put a ceiling on this. I mean, a roof on this thing. But yeah. So we're flying over the farms. These are some of these are deprecated. I did have to grow some spruce trees. There you see down there. You see melons and pumpkins. Netherwort, sugarcane. Yeah, I never really upgraded that. Let's go fly over the forestry tree farm. By the way, you notice it's pretty fast because I have five of the energy input things. Nope. Of those blocks to input RF energy. If you only have one, it's pretty slow, but I have five, so that's why it harvests so quickly. And as I say that, it's taking its sweet time on these trees. Yep. Portals over here. This is a simple little walkway lily pads. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I am working on going to the moon. So I think next I need to do cetane boosted diesel, but I'm pretty good the way through the space race to get to the moon there. Got to finish my rocket parts, and then I really got to get my cetane boosted diesel. All right, on the roof I used to have other stuff. I used to have the railcraft coke ovens and a lot more of these water tank sightings. I still have one. Looks kind of odd. Yeah, I probably need to take that down. Don't really need that. I can just replace that with a single thirsty tank. What else? Over here, I have my industrial TNT set up. So I throw in some sulfuric acid, nitric acid, my gel toluene, and that makes industrial TNT. I am currently full on diluted sulfuric acid. I haven't decided whether I want to turn that back to sulfuric acid or use that for something else. Have a small little Ender IO setup here. Yeah. I'll show you the mob farm and the fish farm soon. Over here is polyethylene and PVC. Over here, I'm making plastic circuit boards and good circuit boards. Also, I have a helium gas set up here. This has been turning away for a while. These copper sheets and foil are to make the plastic circuit boards, and then chlorine, and that also feeds over to the PVC. Just that. All right, let's go look at. Oh, by the way, I didn't say what this is. My catwalk here. Yeah, I played this pack several times, and one thing, there's always tons of pipes, item pipes, fluid pipes, power, like these power cables, and it's always like a pain to route them. So I figured what I would do, I would create a catwalk, a corridor just for these item pipes. I don't want to go too far. I'll start suffering pollution effects, but yeah, I have these coming up under my pollution area. So I have power coming from there, going back to my main base. A bunch of fluids going back and forth. We can take a look at those. Should be, there we go. Yeah, fuel, oxygen, hydrogen, methane, biodiesel, nitrogen. Then coming from my pollution area, the fermented biomass and the wood tar. The items, that's the wood, the saplings, and the apples. All right, let us go look at the mob farm and the fish farm. Go down. All right, let's look at the mob farm first. All right, so I got the mob farm inside here. Let's turn it off. Do I hear any mobs in there? I don't hear any mobs in there. Should be safe to take a peek inside. Yep. So I'm using fans and spikes in the middle to do the killing. Currently the fans are off because I didn't want to lose those blocks. All right, let's turn everything back on. I do have a spawner in there. That's what all of this is connected to. So if I turn that on, it turns on the spawner. Of course, I have to have fuel. But yeah, I currently have a blaze spawner in there. Really, really handy for getting a ton of blaze rods. So 115 stacks, and I can get more if I do fuel. But yeah, that was really, really handy. This is the sort the stuff with damage values. Like you got all the leather armor pieces, you got the weapons, you got the iron chain, the gold, and the diamond here. And this just has miscellaneous stuff like the iron axe, and of course you get tons of these bows and other stuff here. Yeah, so that's just to keep that stuff out, to kind of pre-filter, and then it gets filtered into here. Notice how this flows. This will eventually flow up into my main item collection here. I need to get that hooked up, and then of course I have XP, quite a bit there. All right, and I think last, maybe least, is the fish farm. This is probably about the only spammy thing that I would say that maybe I have one more spammy thing, but yeah, this is one of the probably the most spammy thing that I've built. Normally I don't like spamming the same thing over and over again, but this is just so darn good, and it requires no power. So I'm using 128 of these fish traps here. It's showing me water, and it's showing me the conveyor. I can't actually see the fish trap, or sorry, the fish catcher. So I have 128 of these fish catchers here. Steel bars, wrought iron frame, a lot. Then 128 conveyors, whole lot of these aluminum item pipes. I don't know, about 200 maybe or so. And then these get fed into one stage of collection, which are these chests here. I can't open it because there's a conveyor above it. Yeah, and then that gets pulled out of those and then sorted into the fish and into the other stuff. So the reason why I really like the fish farm, lots of fish, of course, to make biodiesel. But also you get a fair amount of diamonds. Pretty much an infinite supply of like bones and ink, and especially slime. Why do I like slime? Because really good source of rubber. So if I stick this in the extractor, this gives me a really good source of raw rubber there. So I have 149 stacks of raw rubber. I can certainly get a lot more. Yeah, and that's how I'm making my rubber pulp. Got rubber pulp there, and I got rubber sheets there. The reason why I have the rubber pulp there is I throw it into fluid extractor, and I can use this to make the cables. And I think that's about it. I'll give one more view of the base during the daytime. And let's go over to the top of the wizard's tower, give you a different view. Yeah, and we'll get to see this from above. It looks pretty cool too. This whole walkway under the water. Let's go to the top of this, and let's take a look down. So there's the passageway under the water. Going to the base and going to the tree farm there. Yeah, and then looking around, and that is it. So thank you for joining me on a tour of my base. Still getting used to the perspective thing here. Thanks, and see if I do more videos. And thanks for watching.